that thing. Oh yeah. Got a little digger, and he's trying to climb back into it, spinning around. Oh, he made it. He's in. He stopped it. Good job. All right. Here we go. Can we figure out where we left off? Last time. We did get the movement stuff working, but it doesn't work when you are hovering over someone. It should. I think I said something like, you know what, fuck it, last time when I was doing this, because the thing about fixing this is... Okay, that's a real bug. So we can walk through friendlies, but we can't walk through... Oh, let's see. Can we walk through players? Okay. So the pathfinding is incorrectly pathing through players or units. So what are we using now? I think that's not it anymore. Here. Okay, so it's happening here. First we generate a path using this. Hello, Southern Cringe. It does look different today. So this is meant to work in a certain way. Soft collider is meant to be set somewhere. That means that for whatever reason, this is being set as break. Debug.log soft collider found. Let's see if it spams some messages, messages like that. Movement unit collision. But soft collider is... Oh no, there it said soft collider there. But I think that was a bug. Soft collider found. Why does it start popping soft collider found? Just because we're far off? Doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Shouldn't. Because I'm setting false here. And then if both are false. Object.check collision. We're just sending in current.offset. This isn't anything I can print really either. I want to print this. And that's going to be a vector 3. New vector 3. And we're going to say if soft collider, then we print that. This is plus X. Right now we are outside of that. Is this wrong? If soft collider, why am I checking the collision? I think this might be wrong. Debug.log soft collider set to false? Question mark. This is weird, right? Because if we are pathfinding and we're checking if a tile is valid, and then we find that it contains a collider, then it's not about whether we are standing in the collider or not, it's that oh no, I know what this is. This is a failsafe for when we are checking, because what happens is that when I place a character or an object somewhere, the tiles that they're standing in gets flipped into counting as colliders. And what this is doing is that when it's pathfinding, we have to check if the collider that we are colliding with is itself. And that's what that is doing. Checks if the collider found is the object itself. Ignores collision. I think we need to have this here. Or maybe in here. I just redid the pathfinding, so it's really hard to tell where some bug might have sprung up. And it was like a month ago before my computer started fucking up. Movement unit collision. And then if I go past it, we're not really seeing anything. Then if we go like this, movement tile collision. Now we're never getting the soft collider thing. Which is weird. I kind of don't like this system, but it's a lot faster. A lot faster, because if you're the alternative to flipping like a bit on the tile itself is checking the objects, and that means going through all the objects. We're gonna have to make like some kind of brick map system to sort them. to make that faster. Not really, but because we won't have that many objects, but it'll still be shit. So are the tiles... Let's see. Tile. So this is supposed to be serialized. So if we do something like this, what happens? I placed you there. There. Now that's running. And what if we go in here? I don't think it's... Because it would have been up at the top. No, it won't. It won't. It will be at the bottom. Because the parent script gets put at the bottom. But I still don't see it. And there's a good reason for that, because I don't think... Unity can serialize 3D arrays. And if we use this, we can see that the last boolean there says true, and I'm pretty sure that is the soft collider. But we have to check. So Which one is that? This one? No. How the fuck am I drawing this? Okay, so it is the debug cube. Right. I think it's just gonna be called debug something. Debug cube. Debug coordinates. Debug cube. Debug pointer text. No. Is soft collider. That's the last one, yeah. Oh, grug. Oh, grug. Like that confirms that we are setting the soft collider. So then the question is, why is it not actually reading it properly? Grug just ate, now time play Vidya. Alright. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just trying to get back into programming again after the computer has been exploding 24/7. Uh, 1 second. We gotta figure out why the collision isn't working properly. You can walk through other people. Writing some tips. All right. So the question is this what's doing it? If pathfinding mode dot movement, but if we scroll up here, we are now doing when is it? Not you. Not you. Not you. This one. Pathfinding mode. And then here we're doing is valid pfdata.pathfinding mode. So if pathfinding mode equals movement path. What the fuck is movement path? That's draw dynamic grid. I think that's it, probably. We go back to down to is valid here. We instead say movement path, yeah. Yeah. That fixes it. Because I implemented another type of pathing. Like before I had the same kind of stuff, or the same kind of pathing for, well, what am I saying? Before I had a pathfinding script for like every different type of pathfinding. I had one for just drawing out the movement range, one for just drawing out the movement path. Actually, speaking of which, it's not drawing the static grid. There's supposed to be a static grid showing your range where you can walk. That's not drawing at all. But this right here, this is supposed to be... now it's split into two grids. One's called a static grid, and one's called a dynamic grid. And the static grid is just written out immediately when movement mode is initialized. And it's just supposed to show you your possible range, right, or your possible movement options, and it doesn't need to be rewritten because it just looks like that. While this is a dynamic grid, meaning it is getting rewritten every single update because we are changing something, and they're supposed to be drawn separately so that the static grid doesn't get written on, so that doesn't have to be rewritten. But this is fixed now then. So we just need to figure out why the static grid isn't working. But first, bathroom. All right. So, draw static grid. It's supposed to happen here. Init move mode, draw static grid. And it does this. We're generating a bitwise. Blah, blah, blah. Set vector, compute static grid highlight. Here it says draw. I don't know exactly what this used to be, but this seems meaningless now. I think this should just be like this. Double check that it doesn't say dynamic grid anywhere. Compute state, static matrix, compute highlights, static, compute static. So this should work. The question is, I am not so sure I have actually set up the static and dynamic thing in the shader. Static. Compute static grid highlight erect position. Let's see, highlights rect. Get tile static highlight state. Doing that from compute static highlight grids. Compute static grid highlights rect size. And where is this happening? Draw tile grid equals get tile static highlights state. If draw tile grid equals 0, it looks like it should work. So why isn't it? Let's see here. I mean, we are setting the C shader buffer here, so that shouldn't be a problem. It looks correct. Reset dynamic grid. This should be... Let's find a late update. Finalize dynamic highlights grid. Here we are setting the vector for the dynamic stuff. Compute dynamic. Compute grid highlights dynamic. So that's correct. Is it not drawing? Knit move mode. Enable dynamic grid. Draw static grid. Draw combat grid 2. I want the shader on this side. If draw movement grid. Is that set then? Draw static grid. This is a global boolean. Does that even work? I mean, it has been working. Set bool, draw movement grid. If mouse mode and mouse mode movement does not equal 0, or mouse mode dot target selection. This needs to be or mouse mode. No. Mouse mode only has one movement mode. So that is set. Oh. am I doing here? Why am I doing this twice? Am I stupid? It's the same thing. Let's do this. Alright, so what if we do something like... result ID .xyz. How the fuck do you do this? Result. Man. Result render ID. Let's see, what can we get here to draw a movement grid? No, the entire thing is just gonna draw blue. Imagine. Yeah, that's good. Then we go in here and we say the same thing. Draw blue. We can go down here. Say draw bean. go in here and we say draw red. And then we see what happens. Okay, so we get blue only. Oh, so why are we not getting the other ones? Ever. So we have the compute dynamic highlights, rect position shit here. Is this being written? So we go back and we check this. This is being written here, dynamic grid highlight area. Small children don't understand. Here is where we are setting this, the area. For the dynamic grid, so... Good morning, okay. So, tile in tiles to draw. Why is this not working? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Not my fault you don't understand. We have the movement grid area, and we're doing that there. Oh. Is this... Wait, hold on. Okay, I see it. I see it. It's this. Here I have a... I'm calling it static highlight area. Where am I setting that? Up here. Draw static grid. Wait, what the fuck? Oh. What we are trying to make our movement grid draw properly. I see, I see. Okay, so draw movement grid. Right? Find all references. Not applicable. Ah, god damn it. So that's not it? Draw static grid. So it's this. There's gotta just be something stupid. Static grid highlight area. Compute static grid highlight rect position, rect size. And that's being set here. What if we log this here? Debug.log. Static grid area plus static grid highlight area dot minvec3 plus static grid highlight area dot maxvec3 doesn't like that. Oh, that's because there's not a plus there. There. And then you just play it. See what happens. Bam. Doesn't print at all. Oh, what? Draw static grid in init move mode. Init move mode runs here. Debug.log init move mode. Run draw static grid. Init move mode, run draw static grid. Okay, so it runs draw static grid. Oh, it has to be doing this then. All right, let's expand this. Debug.log that draw static grid tiles to draw null or 0. Yep, it's null or 0. All right. So what that means is that this is not working. New pathfinding data with only unit. That means pathfinding mode is movement. And then we're going into research. All right. If pfdata.originPoint equals pfdata.target.position, then we return target, wait, research target and origin is the same. But if we go back again to pathfinding data, that sets the origin point to -1. But I think we can set that ourselves to object script dot tile position. Then we go back here. If pf dot pathfinding mode equals movement, then we're setting movement distance to this. And then let's just run that and see if that was the problem. That it was just setting itself to like null values. Yeah, so now we're seeing some red stuff there. Then we can go back here and red was the correct one. That's what we want to see draw. I think this one we can probably delete, but we can leave it there for now. Because that was before I was using like different ways of doing things, and now I'm only drawing like a static and a dynamic grid, so I might not need all of those. Shader warning, shader warning, shader warning. How FE will not work for negative F. Use abs F or conditionally handle negative values. Whatever. There we go. Now that kind of works. It doesn't actually work, but it kind of works. Because it's once again not handling collision properly, so this is pre-search. And we're checking is valid. Or mode equals movement. There. So now, That works better. Now we can no longer move through units. The range is drawing. And yeah. So I guess next up is targeting. It was working, but I reworked how the grids work a little bit, so now it's all busted again. This one used to work. All right. That's almost too much. That's like almost my limit today. But we're gonna push through. We're gonna figure out where we, because this is move mode, and so here we are init target mode, right? And we're doing the same thing, really. Except here, we're drawing pathfinding data. So one of the strangest things is that this draw static grid thing is here. We're setting the combat grid to the same when we're doing movement and when we're doing targeting. That's the same. So I think the issue might have to do where is it? With this draw movement grid, right? Because this is no longer just drawing the movement grid, this is drawing grid. And draw movement grid is only set when we are in mouse or target selection. Okay, so that's not it. But like this is saying if movement mode, right? And then we're setting things here to movement grid origin, movement grid size, movement distance. I don't think any of these are actually used. So I don't exactly understand draw targeting distance grid, right? So that's supposed to be a static grid then. And then we have generate bitwise grid. And then here we're setting size equals movement path and origin size. I think this should be like that. If pth mode equals greater than movement, so that means anything. No, movement is a static one. Oh, sorry. Movement is static. So I don't think this really matters. I think I'm trying to set this. I think I'm trying to set this as like, if it's dynamic, then I'm resetting it every time or some shit. But otherwise, it should work. Because the only thing I'm doing here is I'm checking movement path, right? And that has to do with checking if we are out of range. So in reality, targeting should be here too. But either way, targeting should draw with correct edges. But that might be here. Because this has nothing to do with movement or combat mode. Not that either. Maybe it's just not drawing the full thing for some reason, and because of that, it's never reaching the edge. So it just doesn't need to draw an edge. Yeah, now we have edges. Right, so that's borderline fixed again. It's just... I wonder if... targets should be drawn differently, like if you have yellow on something, or... Stalker 2 released a 110 gigabyte patch. Okay. So this is what needs work now. This is supposed to draw dynamically. We have draw static grid. Draw dynamic grid. What did this say? Found target, cancel target, skill selection, defensive flurry. It's not actually complaining about anything. Is there just something missing here? Movement tool. So this is movement. Here we're doing research and then draw dynamic grid. So I think the targeting tool is simply not updated. Placement tool, check mouse, target, target tool. Is it in check mouse target? No. So it should be here, right? Here we're checking if main controller dot left mouse up, but we're not ever doing any kind of drawing or testing or anything here. Here it says draw ground target area. And I think we should do this, except this is tiles to draw. So we're gonna have to pathfind. That's what needs to happen here. We can't target without pathfinding, a little bit at least. So here we need to do something here. This isn't exactly a path. More, I mean, it kind of is a path, but not really. So what was the idea here? New pathfinding data. For movement, ground target targeting. So we need origin point and object script. It's going to be like that, and object.action to trigger. Oh. Oh, it's just like that. But this is also, it's different. One is for targeting and one is for ground target. But they're kind of both the same in reality. It's just that a target happens immediately most of the time. Oh, Flap. Had a weird dream about Dana White saying Jesus isn't real. Alright. Sounds I don't know who Dana White is, to be honest. But sounds cool. UFC CEO. Okay. All right. Oh. How am I gonna do this? I guess we simply do it like this. Got to maps last night, did 7 and the loot was bad. Is what it is, I suppose. Yep, pathfinding mode. Are we inputting pathfinding mode here at all? No. And up here, mouse mode. We're checking mouse mode. If main controller dot action to trigger dot AOE AOE info dot his spell round targeted. Then we'll do this. But we gotta do that. Do list. Then in here we say path equals that. So let's see. For ground target, we need an origin point, which isn't necessarily my origin? What is origin point meant to be? No, I think the origin point is where the player is. And then we need main controller dot action to trigger dot AOE info. Else if let's just do else. Else we'll say path equals targeting. That's origin point and object script. So that's then just gonna be current object. I guess. And then we can say main controller dot draw dynamic grid. The dynamic grid needs origin size, current object dot size, or rect size. Is that it? Where else are we doing this? Draw dynamic grid. No, it's entity data dot object size pathbinding mode dot. Well, that's gonna depend. And then current object. We'll do it like this then. We put it in here. And then this is round target. And this is regular targeting. That might work. Let's see if it does. Not really sure how the tiers work and why there are 15. What tiers do you mean, on items or on maps or? The maps? That didn't work. It's just the monster level. Tier 1 is like level 65, tier 2 is level 66, I think. Something like that. Aren't there 16? But yeah, it's just one higher level, and the higher it is, the better items can drop, and the more drop chance you get on everything. And there are various things that make the monster level go up on the map as well. So it's not always, you know, level 2s or 66. You can corrupt them or whatever to make them go higher. There are little altars you can put things in that make every map around them more difficult. The early maps don't like the drop. I think the drop rate is fine, but I mean, it's still RNG, so it takes a while to find anything. Yesterday, I had trouble finding items with the exact correct resistances that I needed. I'm still trying to find a weapon, but at this point, what you need to do is you just need to keep grinding maps, trying to find items to fix your resistances, and then try to push the higher level the higher level waystones. That's what they're called. You know, like you get a tier 2 waystone. If you put that in, the monsters will be harder. You can also use transmutes on the waystones to make them magical, and also you can augment them too to get another modifier. That can give you like 90% increased rarity and stuff. And you also get a little quest to do 10 maps. And once you do 10 maps, or 10 tier 1 maps, you get some points to distribute on the Atlas skill tree. And then you get another quest to do tier 2s, and then another to do tier 3s. So you want to focus on that quest first and foremost, while you're trying to get all your resistances to 60, 75-ish. I still have like 50 fire, which sucks. So where is this? Why is this not working? Cyrus Gaze. I had it working at one point. So if we go to the skills and we look at Cyrus Gaze, we now have... This is the AoE pattern. And this should be correct. This is AoE info. So here then in pre-search, is that where this is incorrect? Research new pathfinding data. This is movement, so that's fine. And down here we are now doing pre-search pathfinding data for ground target. Does it say on Cyrus Gaze that it is ground targeted? Or what was the idea? His spell, area of effect shape, target type equals ground. And then here we're gonna say target type equals ground. How about now? Okay, so it's drawing there, meaning that the origin point needs to be mouse tile position. See if that makes any sense. It makes some sense. It doesn't quite make sense, but it makes some sense. So what is happening now is that it's not correctly. First of all, it's not correctly targeting this guy. He's supposed to become selected. Or he's supposed to flash his outlines. But it also is supposed to have outlines. It's not correctly rendering outlines. Hello, Albine, how's it going? I don't know why, but I had the urge to say top of the morning when I joined. I guess it's that kind of day. I need another Path of Exile patch. So, why is this not drawing the outline correctly? Do you use a main grid for each map to control the coordinates? Yes. There is a 3D tile or a 3D matrix here of the tile type. That's how everything is stored. Tiles contain bytes for its X and Y value. Contains the tile sheet. X and Y means it's not its position in the world, it's its position on the tile sheet. But it also contains a bunch of other things like type, if it's a outside ground, inside floor, roof, horizontal wall, vertical wall, a door, if it's a roof edge, or if it's a gate, which floor it belongs to of a building, which building it belongs to, which roof. Contains a list of bytes that contain which rooms a wall belong to, because one wall can belong to 2 rooms. It's a lot of fucking things here. If it's selected, if it's visible, default state, current state, room count. If it's a collider, also a soft collider. But you have to be careful here. And yeah, it can use a ton of memory. So, like, I'm using bytes as much as I can to make it smaller. Like, if all of these were integers, this would become 4 times as large. And I'm trying to only put what I need here. But most of these things are needed, more or less. At least in the current implementation. But it's not taking up that much memory, I think. I haven't had a problem so far. Like, what is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think it's 18. 18 times 8. $144 bits. Oh, okay, let's divide it by 8 again. So 18 bytes, right? Times... Let's go with a big map. Like 1,000 times 1,000 times 100. Divided by 1024. Kilobytes divided by 100 with 1,000. It's megabytes. That's almost a 2 gigabyte map. Right? Or am I stupid? Yeah. So we can have, but like 100 high is extreme cases, and 1,000 tiles is massive too. Ended up having issues when messing with the matrix, but maybe it was because I was using C and I wasn't using malloc and realloc. I don't know how that works. I've never bothered trying to use C. And I don't think I ever will, hopefully. But anyway, we are generating a bitwise grid here. That's not... We do draw dynamic grid, right? And Because what's weird is that I think the origin is getting involved here. Maybe. Here we have origin size. And that's there. And I think that's the problem. Because it's kind of written as larger than it is. But it's still weird. I still don't understand why it doesn't work. Let's try setting this up then. If PF mode equals, or does not equal, ground target, then we do this, else we do this. I think, like that. Don't really know what this +1 is, but because it's this here, generate bitwise grid, that generates the edges. I think we might maybe have found the issue from before. Because there is a problem that I remember we found where it can't properly write edges for anything that's only 1 in size. But it should work for this. No targets, command cancelled. Okay. target tool. But first we do check mouse target. We have to check here, ground target. So here now I'm using AoE size, and this should now then be AoE info dot pattern dot size, pattern, origin size. And what is the idea here? I think this needs to be offset. New vector 3 int. Origin size. Why is it called that? No, that's not what this is supposed to be. Because here I'm saying origin size is 551. But that's not what origin size is supposed to be. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna get you have a getter. How do you make a getter? I don't remember. Public vector 3 int AoE size get return new vector 3 int pattern dot get length 0 2, 1. That should be fine. You're building it on assembly? What are you talking about? No, I'm not building it on assembly. AoE size. Something like that. It says assembly C# over there. Yeah. Does that. That's how it works. Check pattern collision. Bool pattern. That's then AoE info dot pattern. Let's see if that was enough. Not exactly. It is targeting, but it's off. We're targeting like down there. I'm targeting that whole row. I think my pattern might... No, my pattern shouldn't be off. What version of C# do you recommend? I think there's like very little difference. The default one is .NET Standard now. There was like one function I remember missing in .NET Standard that was available in .NET 4.0, but I just stick to Standard. That actually played and worked and didn't crash or anything. So it's just... this that's wrong then? All right, weird. Target center is get mouse tile position. But this should be... this shouldn't be pattern. This should be AOE area of effect. AOE. And then this should be vector 3 int length equals AOE dot AOE size and we have the mouse point, and so the offset needs to be AOE dot origin point. That's a vector 3. This goes away. This is going to be length.z, length.y, length.x. And this is then AOE dot pattern. But then I also want to go back up. Because what I'm doing here is we're setting the offset to just be the size divided by 2. But the offset should be the origin point. Man? Think. Right, so instead of targeting it up here, we're now targeting down here. So we definitely changed something, but AoE bounds. Wait, why is there a plus here? Oh, this is max, yeah. Now this shouldn't be offset then. This should be... vector 3 int size equals main controller dot action to trigger dot AoE info dot dot size minus origin point. No, it should be like this. So that's the size then, and then we do plus size dot x minus offset dot x. Maybe something like that. Now we're targeting here. It's so weird. I think something is being done twice, right? So we have the boundary collision. That's the AoE bounds. And then that already includes the offset. So we go into check boundary collision. And like this should be fine. This what are we using here? We're using AoE size and origin point. So the origin point is 220, which means it's just pointing to the center here, right? And if the mouse is on this tile, then subtracting 2 will bring us... So this is correct, right? And then area of effect size, that's pattern.getLength. And hopefully this is correct. I think this should be correct. Like, it should be laid out in the right way, both visually and like the data. So that this is x 1 2 3 4 5. And then as we go down, it's actually upside down. It's just that, like, it works for the like when we're painting the grid, it works for whatever reason, but it's too stupid to do it when checking for targets. And then we're doing pattern collision. Like, I'm just doing a basic boundary check first, and then we check the pattern. And that's here then. So get mouse tile position, which I'm not really sure why I'm doing, because I already have that here. Like, we already have mouse tile position, but... And then we go in here. We're sending in the mouse... Why am I doing that? Like, I already have the AoE bounds. Why don't we just use the AoE bounds again? That's a vector 6 int. And then this is, let's rename this to AoE bounds. Rice? I thought you were gonna get rid of the rice. Here we're just gonna say then if AoE bounds X plus and this is all gonna be min X. No, it's X min Y min Z min plus Y plus Z and then we just do it again. That might work. Nope, there's a red error somewhere. Now it doesn't work at all. Up already? Early Kib stream. I will simply have to say debug.log check pattern collision .aoe bounds plus aoe bound aoe bounds dot minvec3 plus bounds dot maxvec3. What does that say then? Found target. You're not finding a fucking target here. Fuck you. AOE visited. Tiles 13. Check pattern collision. This only happens... This only happens when we are within bounds. So, right now it says 5-2 minimum, but it's at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it is at 5 minimum, and it's at 2 maximum. And then it's 5 in each. So it goes to 5, 2, 10, 7. Which is correct. But the... It's not supposed to find a target there. That guy is standing one tile above that. Talking about FF14 yesterday, I just realized what my favorite thing about it was. Which was... the main menu music? Well, that's just a Final Fantasy song. I suppose. Found target. Alright. AOE bounds plus AOE bounds dot min plus comma plus AOE bounds dot max plus unit dot tile bounds plus min plus comma plus dot max. I see. Okay. I kind of get it. Maybe. So I'm checking from 8 to 13 and 0 to 5. And the unit is at 10, 5, 11, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm checking from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's too big. When we're checking the boundary collision here, where am I using this? Only there, I think. This is in movement tool. Check boundary collision, mouse tile bounds. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add a boolean here. Bool. Exclusive. And then we're gonna say if exclusive, if not exclusive, then we're gonna do this. Else, gonna do this. And then here we're gonna get rid of the equals on max. Which one is it? So I think it's this one. Because bound A think that should be right. And then we go back to mouse controller and we say false there, I think. And that's placement tool. So check mouse target. And one up here is this movement tool. Let's go with false. Down here, this is mouse target. Here we're gonna set it to true. Here I'm not sure, but I think this should be true. Now it's not working at all. That might be it for today. I don't know if I can be bothered to figure this out right now. Like, why did it work there? Alright, see you later, Albine. Take care. Because here it just works, right? So why is this so weird? It's because of the Z. Therefore, I kind of don't think this is a great solution. This is not the solution. Let's delete this again. Like that, and the AoE size then simply needs to be -1. Other. Oh, it says found target. But we still have no targets. We're now adding to temp targets. Check pattern collision, AoE bounds, tile bounds. And what we did was we fixed the size, so the AoE bounds should be fine. And then check pattern collision. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. So this should be a bounds check. Check boundary collision. No, this is right, isn't it? Because so we have our AoE bounds, so we have the minimum AoE bounds. And then we're checking the target bounds. So if x min plus x is greater than or equal to target bounds dot x min, we're only checking one tile at a time here. Oh, fuck. We're only checking one tile at a time. And if that is within the bounds of the target, then it should be fine. Hello, Electus. Legends of Terrestria. It's an RPG we're making. You can absolutely see, though there's not much to show. I'm still working on getting things to work. Let me just see if I can figure out why this isn't working.
It's a tactics game, right? Yeah, it's a tactics RPG. I kind of don't see why it doesn't work. That's your models? Yeah. Made those. We got some shadows falling there too. Does attacking work? Extremely placeholder stuff there, but apparently attacking works. The other animations aren't so spectacular like this one. This is also just made a placeholder animation for a spell. Placeholder sound. Right now I'm just trying to make AoE attacks function. But I can't get it to fucking work. What if we... I mean, check pattern collision. Does it say that? Check pattern collision AoE bounds 940 1380. That's not correct. But even so, it should work. So we have an AoE there. AoE.pattern equals true. We'll have to... Oh, no. Debug.log. Check pattern collision return true. Haven't even seen what quarterstaff does yet, but do you think it would be cool on a warrior? Up to you. I think it would be very difficult to do on a warrior. Because all the armor that exists at the warrior's start is strength-based armor. If you move over one step, it's strength/dexterity armor, while the quarterstaff requires strength and intelligence to use. So you are going to have issues with stats. But it's probably doable. It's never returning true. Right? Just what's happening? What is happening? What are you posting, Sisek? I've seen a skill where you spin it around, and I just thought that would be neat if you could get it to stun easily. Maybe. But stun is just based on damage. So it's stun based on damage multiplied by stun build-up percentage. And I think there might be stun build-up stuff over by the monk too, I'm not sure. Not as much though. You could play it as a Titan, because then you'll get more stats. That might help. Plus, if you go down to the Mercenary, there's a thing there that gives you like all stats too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. I don't really know why this isn't working. I think I'm gonna have to do some breakpoint stuff here. And I don't really feel like doing that right now. I think that's good enough for one day. I need to go eat and stuff. And then we'll be back with some Path of Exile. This is just being weird. I don't know why this doesn't work. This should work. Unless there's something wrong with the AoE pattern. Oh, no, I know. I think I know what the problem is. Yes, I know. The problem is that right now I'm trying to generate a length based on the bounds maximum vector 3 and minimum vector 3. And because of that, they are both on the same z-axis. So when it gets to the z loop here, it sets z equals 0, and then it checks z is less than length z, but length z is 0, so it doesn't run. That's what's happening. So if I set this to plus vector 3 int.1, do the characters take up 2 squares? Yeah, they can take up multiple squares. The reason I have done that is for... Otherwise you have to like abstract the art really heavily so that one character can just take up 1 square. Because otherwise, how do you handle movement when you have to make like one tile is just like this is a collider, right? That means you have to make walls that are as thick as one character minimum. So I split it up into smaller tiles so that we can have more detailed movement and more detailed tiles in that sense. Comes with its own set of complications, but nah, it's still not finding it. But I'm pretty sure that was the issue in reality. But there's clearly something else going on too. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat, do some stuff, and I'll be back soon. So, I'll see you later.